They said that there's so many different ways. You just never know what happened in the corner. I'm fine with numbers, but I'm more like to be with people more.
You retired and says, okay, I'm calling it. I'm done with this. And all of a sudden you had a different calling that called you out of retirement.
Actually, it's a timing kind of a thing. So it really sparked my curiosity. So in 2017, I said, hey, let's kind of do this together.
You like your father mixing up stuff, and those different plants and these different herbs mixing together. So it kind of came almost full circle there,
exactly.
Right?
I think my parents probably thought that I was destined to do a beauty business when they gave me the name. I think the biggest challenge for me at this point is brand recognition.
And I think that still came back from your father being a giver and the father being a person of service, right?
I have 2 aha moments in this business.
That's a wonderful way of doing business, that you're actually helping charities and people in need in a very special way. What is it that keeps driving you?
It really means the teaching that I learned from my parents. So it's about sharing. But what it really drives me is to be able to see other people that their need is being met. Actually, that small gesture can be amplified.
Well, like the butterfly effect, one individual could affect the whole community. Hi, this is Curtis McCullom with the Curtis McCullom Show, where we delve into the mindset of top CEOs and entrepreneurs and founders to kind of share with you what it takes to be and become the best version of yourself. Bespoke Human Potential Coaching sponsors this show. Bespoke helps CEOs and founders and entrepreneurs kind of eliminate those blind spots. Those things you kind of been dragging around since childhood, and it's blocking you from being and kind of keeping you out of your full potential. You're not reaching your full potential. So if you feel like you're stuck or like something is holding you back and you just don't know quite what it is, give me a call, please. Let's schedule a free clarity call or just have coffee with me and we'll talk about what's happening with you today. So use the link below and let's uncover what's really standing in your way so you can get really moving. And by the way, if you are enjoying this show, please don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a review. Your support helps others who are ready to transform to reach out to us. We really appreciate that. Today in the studio, I have a lovely young lady. She is the president and founder of Ageless Zen, Mei Yung Lee. I'm telling you, she right now, she partners with the AZ Community Partnership Program to educate and create opportunities for nonprofits to secure perpetual funding streams within their communities. May is one of those types of ladies I feel like it's the person you need to know. She's very personable and she loves connection. So if nothing else, once we finish the podcast, be sure to reach out to her just to say hi and how can she help and support you. But today I have her with me here in studio, Mei Yung Lee. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Curtis. It's such a pleasure to have a chance to speak with you and actually get to know you. Thank you, Curtis. It's a privilege to be able to be on your show. You're so easy to talk to. I love talking to you.
The whole idea and what I'm learning every day is that I have to start being who I am, authentically who I am. And what I love most and one of my highest values really is connection. And what it is actually, it's titled as love. And for me, what that means, May, is that love is connecting from the heart. It's like really having this true spiritual connection and knowing a person and really to get to know you as a person and as an individual has been a really true delight for me. And I just want to thank you for that. Tell us a little bit about your journey. I know, you have a very unique journey. So kind of share with the world a little bit, how do you become now president and founder of Ageless Zen?
Yes, they said that there's so many different ways. You just never know what happened in the corner. So I was born in Hong Kong and came over to this country. And my background is more from investment. And you know how Chinese tiger mom, they say, forget being an artist, forget being a ballet dancer, because it's always my dream. And so they say, no, you're going to starve to death. So being a very good daughter, I did take her advice. And actually later on, it turns out that it really helped me a lot. But my father actually was my true hero. My father was a Chinese herbal doctor. So very early on, I grew up with the herbs and I have an opportunity to see how he used herbs and plant to heal his patient.
Right.
And the value he instilled in me, it just like a big gift. And his heart was so big and he helped people even though they may not be able to afford for his feed and it was okay with him. He just took care of them. So as I grow up, I realized that, plants and herbs are really, they're much more balanced, the chemical with
Mm.
plants.
Right.
So they kind of take care of themselves. And if you take plants most lightly, you don't need to be like some of the pharmaceutical, drugs that we're taking. You take
Right.
one and then you have to take another one to
Another and
offset the
another and
diet.
another one. Right. I've met people who walk in with a whole bag of different pills and things, and some of the things can be healed, like you said before, by some of the plants and taking care of ourselves, and a lot of other things versus getting on the pharmaceuticals. But before you get too deep in within how you now move from the plants to what you're currently doing, kind of step back a little bit, because you were someone big in investments, right? I mean, you had a very, very successful investment company, especially after your husband died, right? So share with them a little bit about that. Bespoke Human Potential Coaching sponsors this show. Bespoke helps CEOs, founders, and entrepreneurs get rid of those blind spots that they've been carrying around since childhood. So if you're stuck and have some blocks, click the link below for your clarity call or scan the QR code if you're on video. Let's get rid of those blinds. Now back to the interview.
Okay. Because of my parents, mostly my mom taught me very early on, said that you need to learn about numbers, you need to balance a checkbook, blah, 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 So I study investment and also in terms of taxes and all of that. And on the side, I also did a lot of a nonprofit work for organization board, like I do, people tax returns for free at AARP.
Right.
So that is part of my journey. I'm fine with numbers, but I'm more like to be with people more. So that's why I'm working towards that. And when it comes to investment, that's why I said earlier on, it really served me well in the
Right.
unfortunate circumstances. Because after I got here and after I have 2 children, my husband passed away with leukemia. Just within 3 weeks, he was gone, and I was
Wow.
just floundering, and I didn't know what to do. But because of some of the background with the finances, I was able to use some of the saving he left us and invest in different things and help to basically brought up my 2 children, put them through school and all of that. So it was really helpful for me at that time.
Right. So then fast forward a little bit, you retired and says, okay, I'm calling it. I'm done with this. And all of a sudden you had a different calling that called you out of retirement. So what was it so passionate that you're like, okay, I'm coming out of retirement. I'm taking off the clothes of retirement clothes and putting back on the business clothes. What made you do that?
I know. My friend has said that. I know. I think you're a little crazy. I don't know what's wrong with you. Now is the time you should play with your grandchildren, right?
Right.
Yeah. So it was actually, it's a timing kind of a thing because I was paying a lot of tennis and I was like retired, like you said,
Right.
they do much except just keep honing into my tennis game and with the type A personality, it gotta be the best, right? So I went around under the sun so much and I saw myself and my friend, we just all getting premature aging.
Right.
Brown spot, dark spot, wrinkles, you name it.
Right.
So then, of course, I will look for, skincare that I can use and hopefully
Right.
I can help myself, with healthier skin. And that is when in 2016, I went into my current partner, Michael.
Right.
And Michael was a researcher and he have a clinic actually. He managed a group of research doctors and he did ingredient research for international and domestic companies. So together they have over 30 years of research experience with files and all these great ingredients like this sticks,
Right.
So I thought, oh wow, that's cool. Because when I went out to buy something, I could never figure out what is good for me and what is
Right.
toxic and what is non-toxic.
Right.
So it really sparked my curiosity. So in 2017, I said, hey, let's kind of do this together to start our own skincare company. So at least I can trust that whatever's in that product, that is truly what it is.
Wow. So that kind of really was, if you think about your past, like your father mixing up stuff,
Yeah,
and those different plants and those different herbs mixing together. So it kind of came almost full circle then, right?
exactly. Isn't it strange? Sometimes the world is very interesting. And so you know that too. My name actually is Mei Yung Lee.
Right.
And in Chinese, Mei Yang means pretty face.
Ah.
I think my parents probably thought that I was destined to do a beauty business when they gave me the name.
There was. I mean, wow, that's really interesting. Your name actually means pretty face, and so now you're helping people around the world to have pretty faces and healthy skin, right? And so that
Yeah.
kind of tell me, May. Now, I mean, what has been as a CEO now coming off out of retirement? What has been your biggest challenges that you've experienced?
Well, I think the biggest challenge for me at this point is brand recognition
Okay,
because there are so many different skincare brands out there.
right,
And be very, very honest with you, I look at quite a lot of them.
right,
They actually, kind of iffy.
right, right,
And but it's very confusing for consumer. How would they know which brand is better than the other brand?
right,
Which brand should we trust? They all say natural, they all say this, and they all say that. But in reality, if you know how to read the label, then
right,
that's different. And
right,
now I'm very happy that at least I learned, when we make our own product, I make sure because we have very high standard regarding about the ingredient we use. A big part of it is my father's background, that the
yes,
integrity I felt that, our family should have if we're going to put our name on,
right,
the product. And also the research that the team could do. So that is a challenging part is that to let people know we are honest about the product we made and also the research behind it and the clinical trial behind it. So to just letting people know that, and it's a challenging right now for a small company.
yeah. Well, that's one of the challenges that most of us experience as entrepreneurs. I mean, like for me, I'm a at the end of the day, I'm a coach, right? And
Mhm.
there are so many coaches out there, and
Right.
everybody, back, I was born and raised in Mississippi, and one of the colloquialisms in Mississippi is that everybody and your mama is a coach. So everybody, everybody is a coach. Like, they have some life experience. All of a sudden, they have a coach. They're
Yeah.
the coach, but when it comes to me being authentic to who I am,
Mhm.
and people understanding that my training, what goes into what I do as a transformational coach is not what you see everybody else is doing. And so for me to get that message out, it is sometimes difficult because there's so much noise out there.
Right.
So I mean, so I know one of the things that you have a very unique way of actually communicating it, and that's through the five see that you feel like that you want to share in what you're doing. And I think that still came back from your father being a giver and the father being a person of service, right? So explain to the world a little bit about that.
Okay. So I had two aha moments in this business. The first one is when I met Michael, I said, hey, I can merge the ancient wisdom of plant and herb and to create a clean line of product
Right.
with the science and technology and research behind it. That's when my first aha moment.
Right.
Yeah. And then the second aha moment is like, hey, now we have this beautiful line and amazing products. And I want to share with the world. Now I can go out to buy a lot of TV ads and I do all this stuff that normal people do.
Right.
But it doesn't do anything for me in terms of giving back to the community.
Right.
So what we started to decide to do is that we set up a foundation called the Ageless Zen Circle of Giving Foundation. And indeed, it's really just like a circle of giving. First, we sell the product and we make the money and we contribute to the foundation, which is a C3 foundation. And the
Right.
foundation now have funding. They're able to hire program specialists. And these program specialists will be able to go in to schools or community charities, and we'll teach them how to use our product to fundraise. So everybody in their community, it will be participating. So you draw within your community the support to fund your own school.
Wow, that's powerful. I mean, so basically what you're saying is that just sometimes, we always giving people a hand, and, hey, here's a hand. What you're saying is that you want to give people an opportunity to participate in their own expansion, in their own growth by giving. I think you shared with me, please correct me if I'm wrong, 30% of the profits goes back to the individuals that for these charities. Am I correct with that?
You are absolutely correct. And we are able to do it because we are vertically integrated. That means that we create our product lines from ground up. So we own the formulas.
Right.
Okay. And then we source our own ingredient because we have the expertise of Michael's team, been in the business for 30 years.
Right.
And packaging design, which I did a little bit of that because I love it.
Yeah.
And so basically, most of everything is in-house
Right.
except testing. So we
Right.
want third-party testing to verify our finding. So in order to do that, so now we are vertically integrated. That means we cut down a lot of costs.
Right. Right.
So by cutting down a lot of costs, now we have enough money to be able to give it back to the charity and still can sustain our model.
Right. That's beautiful. I mean that's wonderful way of doing business, that you're actually helping charities and people in need in a very special way. And at the same time, you're allowing them to help themselves. And you guys are kind of sharing in the profits of that. I mean, that's wonderful. Now we talked a little bit about, and we can come back to that in a second.
Mhm.
What is it that keeps driving you? I mean, I think you said something like, will your situation allow you to do it? So what is it that allows you to kind of align with your business model as far as your situation allowing you to do it? What does that mean to you when I said that?
Well, it really means the teaching that I learned from my parents. I think I told you this before. My mother was very wise, even though she was not quite educated.
Right.
But she always tell me, hey, don't forget, when you build your house, make sure that your front door is open larger so everybody can come in.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's about sharing.
Mm.
Okay. And it's about sharing your expertise like you're doing to help people coaching. And it's about sharing that now my expertise are able to teach other people how they can actually help their own community, particularly in this pretty turbulent time, as you know,
Yes.
that, funding is, is kind of difficult.
Very difficult. As we well know right now,
Yeah.
the
Program.
nonprofits and a lot of people are cutting. So we're gonna have to come together as a community, really, to say, okay, we can't truly depend on the government right now to help these situations. What can we do as a collective to actually continue to move forward? So that's really, really important, that taking what we currently have, our resources and stuff, to do what we need to do. But then you also talked a little bit about perseverance and going through the ups and the downs. How do you make it through the ups and the downs, even some of your toughest times?
Well, I think the ups and the downs come into the basic tenets for me personally is the support of my family.
Okay.
And they understand that, oh, maybe I won't have the time to see my grandbaby as often as I wanted to because I'm here working.
Right.
But what it really drives me is to be able to see other people that their need is being met. And you're talking about basic need. We're not
Right.
even talking about anything fancy, okay? We're
Right.
talking about lunch program perhaps in the school.
Right.
And we are talking about perhaps, sport activity or art program for the school.
Right.
And or other charity, they're helping better women, or charity like McAviver, which is one of our community partner.
Mhm.
They help fund the research for the metastatic cancer patient.
Right.
Hopefully one day we'll find a cure. So all of those wonderful causes communities are doing, and now they're really, a lot of them are foundering. And I think the timing for our program is almost perfect, even though, we wanted to be there whether they get funding or this become extra funding.
Right. Bespoke Human Potential Coaching sponsors this show. Bespoke helps CEOs, founders, and entrepreneurs get rid of those blind spots that they've been carrying around since childhood. So if you're stuck and have some blocks, click the link below for your clarity call or scan the QR code if you're on video. Let's get rid of those blinds. Now back to the interview.
But that's what it drives me, because I can see, I can impact and other lives, just like people say butterfly effect, right?
Right.
So you make a small gesture. Actually, that small gesture can be amplified, and then now you end up that you make a difference in a child's life or a difference in a better woman's life. So it's very touching for me. So that's what it drives me. So every morning, 6 o'clock in the morning,
Right.
get up and do my exercise and then go to the office and try to make a good day out of it.
There you go. I mean, that's the whole idea. I think we both, I think this kind of probably was part of our connection is
Yeah.
that, our highest value, some of my highest values are the same as yours. Number one, helping others, to make an impact, to basically make sure that a person becomes the best version of themselves.
Yeah.
And then my thing is probably close to yours or similar is that
I
I have
know.
passion for what I do. I love getting up early, staying up late, doing what I do. It's not because that's who I am. I love the energy and the passion, and
Mhm.
your energy is kind of, is just what it's all about, is like you putting your entire being into this new project that you're doing to help and really help the world, really. Like you said before, like the butterfly effect, one individual could affect the whole community, and that's what it's all about. Like I said, I'm totally sold on the fact that we need to come together as communities to help each other, because of the fact that we can. At this point, we know that some of the situations with the government is not going to happen. That
Yep.
means that it's incumbent upon us to do what
Yep.
we can do within our communities. And that's kind of what you're doing with your product is, yeah, I got a great product, number one.
Right.
It's a great product. Number two is the product is built for giving back to the community. And number three is that in order for us to sustain ourselves, we do keep a little bit in there for the sustain ourselves, which is fair. That's a fair thing. But usually in corporations, it's flipped. Giving back is the last thing on the corporation's minds, and yours is the first, the biggest. Other than research and keeping the company going, yours is the biggest line item that you actually give back, is giving back to charities and communities, right?
Yes, because that is what I set out to do. Like you say, I could have continued to play tennis and continue to play with my grandchild. Of course, I still love them. I love both of them, very much.
Right.
But 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 it's different. We are very fortunate in the situation that we actually can do it. Sometimes to be able to help others,
Right.
it really truly is a privilege, because not everybody had the opportunity to do so.
Right.
Life come in many different ways, as you know very well. That sometimes things change on a dime. Like I lost my husband. I didn't
Right.
even know what was hitting me.
Yeah.
And then, actually my daughter also had lupus. And so for years, we've been just struggling and fighting and trying to get her as healthy as it can be.
Right.
So I know the struggling personally myself, and now I
Right.
have an opportunity to help people. Then maybe they can struggle just a little less, okay,
Yes.
with a little assistance. So I'm happy to provide that.
I'm happy you are now. You're doing it too. So, how can people get in touch with you guys? How can they? What information do they need to get in touch with you to
Yes.
Ageless Zen?
Yeah. So we have a retail website, which is called www.agelzen.us.
Okay.
And so they can go there to buy product, of course, because buying product from us, and we are actually donating part of the fund, non-specific fund.
Right.
When we make money to our charity, which is the Circle of Giving Foundation. But
Right.
if they're interested, if you are school or
Mhm.
you are a charity, you're interested, and you can go to AC, A for Apple, Z for Zebra.
Right.
Yeah, acommunitypartnership.com.
Okay.
Okay, and check us out. And that is email there. You can write us an email and let us know you're interested for our help. We're happy to take a look at you and see how we can help you basically design a program that will work for your circumstances.
I love that. I love that. So basically, that's www.a as in Apple, Z as in Zebra Community Partnership. It's going to be down below, guys, that you can make sure you can get in touch with May. Now, May, would you like to leave anything else with the audience before we leave today?
Yes. First of all, I want to thank you, for giving me an opportunity and your platform so I can spread this word and let people know we're here, we're
Right.
willing, and we are able to help. And I also want people to understand that, if there is alternative, for example, if natural product can keep your skin healthy and looking pretty and refreshed, and also able to help your own community, I really hope that they will consider to let us help them. And don't give up hope. I know it's pretty tough out there, but there are programs like ours or maybe some other program, they see this and they're also helping. So seek program like ours out and yeah, and just don't lose hope. And yeah, so we just have to do it together.
I agree with you, May. And number one, thank you for being a part of this show today. And I also would like to thank the listeners for kind of sticking with us throughout the interview today. And guys, I always like to leave this word with you. Remember that true success really comes when you embrace what I consider the legit mindset. So just like when May went through what she went through, she was learning, she was growing, she was expanding, and she was transforming. Even through the loss of her husband, she went through that and got some learnings and was able to raise her two kids. And then she stepped out of retirement because she had a passion about something that she really felt that the world needed. And she's presented it in a very way that not only it's almost like a win-win-win for everybody. The company wins, charities win, and you can win too. So because you can have some beautiful face and skin, and that's what it's all about because it's a great product. Like today, if not for me, guys, I always like to let you know if something resonates with you and you're ready for a breakthrough. You're just sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Mhm.
Kind of use the link below and let's schedule a meeting. I call it a clarity call. Let's have a cup of coffee and just talk about what's happening with your life and see how we can help you become unstuck so that we can help you reach your full potential. I'm Curtis McCullum. Make it a great day and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the show.